Okay, so in this short video, we're going to talk about unit conversions, and we're going to relate these to what we learned about the other day, which was moles. But before we start, there are two things that you should know, and the first is that there are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram, and there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So chemists usually measure things in grams, but sometimes we need to measure things in smaller units like milligrams, and sometimes we need to measure things in bigger units like kilograms. So let's pretend we have 18 grams of carbon, and we want to convert this into moles. You could use the mole formula, or you can use what's called dimensional analysis. And so what you would do is just try and cancel out these gram units, and so you're just left with moles. So let me do an example here. So I'm going to multiply this, and I know that 1 mole of carbon is equal to 12 grams of carbon. So if you just multiply across, 18 times 1 is 18 moles, and then we're going to divide this. So you'll notice that the grams will cancel out. So when you have the same unit in a numerator, so we can say this is over 1, when you have the same unit in a numerator and a denominator, those units cancel out. And so the only units we have left are moles, and we're going to divide this by 12, because when you multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across. So we have 18 moles divided by 12, and that is going to be equal to 1.5 moles. So that's how we do dimensional analysis. We're trying to just cancel out those units so you're left with what you want. Let's do another example. So let's pretend instead of 18 grams, we now have 18 milligrams of carbon, and we want to convert this into moles. So what you can start off by doing is just put this over 1. And so we want to convert the milligrams into grams first, because that's what we're used to dealing with. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to cancel out milligrams in the numerator, I'm going to write milligrams in the denominator. And I know in 1 gram, there are 1,000 milligrams. So that will essentially cancel out milligrams. Now I'm left with grams, but I still want to, the end goal of this was to convert this into moles. So now the only units I have left here are grams, but again, I want moles. So moles is going to have to go in the numerator, and then grams is going to have to go into the denominator to cancel these grams out. And again, in 1 mole of carbon, there are 12 grams. So multiplying straight across, we have 18 moles. There's no units left over in the denominator, but our denominator is 12,000. So 18 divided by 12,000 gives you 0.0015 moles of carbon. All right, one more example here. Let's say we have 2.4 moles of carbon, and we want to figure out how many kilograms is this. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this over 1, and we're going to multiply this. So we want to cancel out moles. So the first thing I'm going to do is put moles in the denominator here so that our moles get canceled out. And I know that 12 grams of carbon is equal to 1 mole. So our moles will now cancel out. And I know that, the next thing we want to do is cancel out those grams, because the only thing we want to be left with is kilograms. So I'm going to put kilograms in the numerator here, grams in the denominator, so that grams cancel out. And I know that in 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. So when you multiply these fractions straight across, the only thing you should be left with is kilograms, which is what we want. So multiplying across, we have 28.8 kilograms divided by 1,000. And so this is going to be equal to 0.0288 kilograms.